Hey everybody, it's Aaron Norris with the Norris Group. It is January 12th, and how do we get builders to build and solve our housing shortage in the next decade? That and much more as we cover the biggest headlines in real estate. Don't miss the radio show on the podcast this week. We've got investor Tony Alvarez joining us. He drove all the way down from Oregon to come to the studio and record to talk to us about where he's investing his money right now. You'll find out whether it's California or Oregon, the two biggest states with positive net migration, his journey in the REO business, and how he got to where he's at. That and much more on the radio show and podcast. Don't miss it. We have upgraded a lot of stuff on our website. Some things may be a little wonky this weekend, but we are hopefully going to be completely back on track by next week, so hang tight. But anyway, the National Association of Home Builders reported multifamily housing starts are expected to be a little bit less, of around 2% less than last year. Early stage mortgage delinquencies increased in the wake of the past hurricane season by 0.1% according to CoreLogic, but overall mortgage delinquency rates decreased about 0.1%. But in some areas, I think there's been a moratorium, so this is something that we'll need to watch. Consumer sentiment decreased 2 points in December, according to Fannie Mae's latest home purchase sentiment index, showing consumers are a little bit more cautious heading into 2018. Zillow says nearly 25% of all properties sold in 2017 above asking price, and mortgage rates increased again, with 30-year rates now at 3.99% and 15-year rates at 3.44%. Occupancy rates, population shifts, hot market opportunities, and technical disruptions are all something that will be keep an eye out in 2018. As occupancy rates decline, rent growth is also expected to show signs of weakness headed into this year. Population shifts and affordability are going to be driving the rental market, so as affordability becomes more of a pressing issue for many Americans, we will see how state governments decide to step up and fix things, if that's the word we want to use. Hot rental markets tend to follow job and population growth, and apparently Southeast and Northwest, according to this Forbes article, is where investors might want to take a look. And intelligent systems, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. I'm hoping to do a little bit more focus on technology next week since CES. I've been watching the CES in Las Vegas this week to see all the new tech trends, and a lot of it's voice and home technology. We'll cover that more next week, but definitely a trend to watch for in 2018. Home equity hit record highs according to Black Knight Data and Analytics, with homeowners rocking $5.5 trillion in tappable equity. Well, how are they deciding to spend it? Remodeling spending topped $152 billion in 2017, and renovations for owner-occupied single-family homes will increase around 4.9% in 2018, according to the National Association of Home Builders. Homeowners are using home equity to also pay for education expenses and pay down other debt to save on monthly payments, and doing things like investing in the stock market, buying more real estate, and yes, even cryptocurrency. So apparently they're pulling money out of their house to buy Bitcoin. Go figure. Zillow released its hottest housing markets predictions for 2018. San Jose and San Francisco made the list in the number 1 and number 5 spot, respectively. They're looking at home values, the rental market, as well as jobs being created. Other markets that made it: Raleigh and Charlotte, North Carolina made the list, Seattle, Washington, Denver, Austin and Dallas, Texas, and even Nashville, Tennessee. Financial advisors typically suggest people pay no more than 30% of their pre-tax income on housing. And according to a recent Harvard study, well, 40 trillion people households, are doing that and are what they consider house poor. If you can't spend your income the way you want because so much of it is going to housing expense, you're house poor, says Deborah Neiman of Neiman & Associates Financial Services. And legislators are all over this. Just this week in California, the repeal of portions of Costa-Hawkins did not go through and pass through the committee, but by only 1 vote. Expect regulators to talk a lot about that, especially in states like California. I'm keeping an eye on it, so watch out. Dealing with buyers and renters can just be so tedious, let's be honest. And so that's why having robots do that job is pretty sweet. A new startup called ZenPlace is doing just that. They want to be the Uber of home showing, according to Rahul Mewawala. I hope that's how you say his name. He is the CEO of ZenPlace. Prospective tenants upload a copy of their ID via their smartphone. ZenPlace runs a background check to make sure it's legit, and the client gets a code to get into the property via a lockbox. A licensed agent actually mans the robot and walks them around and answers questions, and they're able to fill out loan applications or rental applications on the spot. Pretty cool. So much focus has been on tax reform. Many people haven't been paying attention to marijuana being legalized in California. Can you as a landlord ban the use of marijuana in or on your rental properties? Well, the County of San Diego hosted an event for property managers and apartment owners, and the short answer is yes. While people are now allowed to smoke marijuana in their homes, that isn't true if they're living in a smoke-free apartment or condominium complex. You're just going to need to have that language in your lease. Enforcement is going to be another thing, but at least we know. California state housing officials say we need 180,000 new housing units per year. And a study by McKinsey, embraced by Gavin Newsom, says we need closer to 3.5 million homes by 2025, and that's around 437,000 a year. So that number is way more, and we are definitely not building enough. Despite out-of-control housing values and the strongest infill housing market in a generation, we're barely hitting 100,000 units per year. Homelessness is high, housing affordability, you name it. So Housing for LA, a Los Angeles-based residential developer, wrote an article of 25 solutions to help us get there faster and start building more homes. Out of the 25, here's some of the more interesting one. Allow 100% residential development on commercial zone properties, so being a little bit more flexible in the zoning. Stop delaying approvals. Uniform statewide zoning rules for properties within a half a mile of a rail stop, which has not been allowed, but in markets like urban markets like New York, they've been doing it for years. So making it more flexible, they think they can build a ton more. We must woo the publicly traded home builders back to California, because apparently they've jumped ship and no longer want to deal with CEQA and all the stuff that they have to do here. Give our local communities appropriate new housing goals and actually make them meet them. Allow housing construction to begin immediately after planning. Incentivize and remove planning approvals as much as for affordable housing as possible. Reform but don't repeal Costa-Hawkins and the Ellis Act. Make the Los Angeles small lot subdivision ordinance statewide. Have CalPERS start investing in home building again here in the state. Reform Dodd-Frank, and Fannie Mae needs to finance construction loans for home building. So just a few things, and I would love to hear what you have to think. What would you add to the list that would spur on development here in the state of California? If you're on YouTube, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a beat. If you're on Facebook, please don't forget to not only like the Norris Group page, but don't forget to add us to your See First list and with notifications on. Leave your comments below the video, and if we missed something, share the story on our comment sections on either YouTube or Facebook, and we'll make sure to include it on our blog at thenorrisgroup.com/blog. We've had a very busy start of January, and we are going to hit the road again starting in February with Stay Put or Cash Out, a very well-received talk that Bruce launched back in December. So hopefully we'll see you out and about. We'll be February 6th at OC Phoebe out in the Costa Mesa Irvine area, February 7th in Arcadia, February 15th in Corona at Tygar, and then March 7th. Bruce is going to be doing 2018 real estate market forecast, so he'll be doing just the timing portion of his current talk. I think this is the Coldwell Banker event that happens in the Inland Empire. A lot of great different speakers, so you'll find that link on our website. A little bit different, but the timing piece is generally the same, but a really great event with other speakers like John Husing and Christopher Thornburg. March 14th, Stay Put or Cash Out, NorCal RIA. We're coming up north, and then 17th, we're doing Cashing In on a Boom. This is our strategy session on the real estate investment strategies that are working in today's market here in California, and with special guest speakers from Property Radar. We're going to be doing a little bit of a workshop on how to use their program to identify potential properties. So for more information on all of our events, check out thenorrisgroup.com, and that's where you're also going to find information on our hard money loans, including fix and flip, buy and hold, and new construction. We've got rates starting at 6.9% for our rental program, so check out all those rates, and Florida is coming soon. And for more information on passive investing doing trust deeds, check out tngtrustdeeds.com. With that, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week.